one of the reasons why I had blood shooting out of my eyes so much watching Mitt Romney, especially after the Libya thing, is because I had just spent about a half an hour with Claire Lopez, former CIA agent. And we had this is probably one of the more sobering interviews I have ever done. And we've done some pretty significant interviews in the past. I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu saying Israel has a right to survive. NSA agents that had a gun put to their head because they were whistleblowers on what the NSA is doing. We've had some pretty serious and sobering conversations over the years on this program. But Claire Lopez brought home what really happened in Libya. And I want to talk to her. I brought her on to be with us. Hi, Claire. How are you?
Hi, Glenn. Glad to be with you.
Thank you. You have. Let me just set this up. My feeling is that we were running guns, and Ambassador Stevens was in on that. He was our main broker in giving the guns to the bad guys, which turned out to be Al Qaeda in Libya. Would you agree with that?
That's what it looks like during the revolt against Gaddafi last year, yeah.
Okay, and we are now running guns through the same people in Turkey into Syria, and this one is also going through the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, I mean, some of the same actors are involved, including Muslim Brotherhood and Al-Qaeda, too.
Okay, so that's what's really going on. But what I want to talk to you about is the moment that nobody has been asking two questions. One, what was the ambassador doing in Benghazi that night? And we now know he was meeting with the General Counsel of Turkey, and there's no way they don't know about the drug run or the gun running that we're doing. There's just no way. So that's what he was doing there that night. Can you help me now with what happened at the White House and at the State Department and at the Pentagon? How long did this fight go on? And did they have any moving pictures? Did they have any video streams? Where was this being seen?
Well, the alarm bells would have been going off all over Washington, D.C. and places in between. When an attack on an American mission like that occurs, and I've been in that situation myself, messages go flying. You have cables, situation updates, and certainly cell phones must have been going back and forth from those under attack asking for help. And in addition to that, we hear then from Gary Burnson, former agency officer as well, that there was an unmanned Predator drone hovering above Benghazi, above our compound that night, and streaming back in live time photographs, video of what was happening, of the attack. So, number one, they knew absolutely that this was an assault, a military assault. From the video, they would have been able to see that there were heavy weapons being used, that is RPGs and mortars, in addition to small arms. All of that would have been streaming into headquarters at CIA. It would have been streaming into the State Department and certainly into the Situation Room at the White House.
Okay, so when they say we had to wait for information, they didn't have to wait for information. They saw it with their own eyes that night.
They saw it in live time. They knew exactly what was happening.
What you said to me last night, which was so sobering, was that we watched our people die for the first time and that I can think of. I don't know if you can think of one, but for the first time, we watched our people die and did nothing while we could do something.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it, Glenn. To know that they knew what was happening, did they want those people to die? I'm sure not. Did they actually know that they were dying without a shadow of a doubt? No, they did not know that. But they had to know that their lives were at serious risk. And only local assets in the Benghazi and the Libya area, from Tripoli, that is, were sent to help them. Which are the people that Ambassador Stevens said, these are local police and everything else. And Ambassador Stevens had written the night before saying, this is unacceptable. It doesn't work. These guys, Yeah.
It's dangerous to have just these guys.
Well, he knew. He knew that the risk was there. He knew that, he personally possibly was on an al-Qaeda hit list. He knew that the facility at Benghazi, and by the way, that was not a consulate, a mission, had been hit before. The British ambassador had an assassination attempt on his life. The Red Cross there had been attacked. And
explain what the difference is between an embassy, a consulate, and a mission.
Right. Well, the embassy is the primary United States diplomatic facility in a country. It's usually located in that country's capital, and in Libya that would be in Tripoli. A consulate can also be located in the capital, but often also is located in other cities, and it's a place where visa services, for instance, are provided, and it's also a place where American citizen services are offered to American citizens in that country.
Okay. And the mission, as we know now from the news reports that have come out before this event and after, they were. This is where the guys were going over to try to recover some of the weapons that we put into the wrong hands. Yeah,
that appears to be the mission. That they were there to collect up many of these looted weapons, lots of them heavy weapons like RPGs and shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles that can bring down aircraft like helicopters and planes. And they were there to get those back, buy them back, collect them up, whatever.
What did we know? What do we know about the General Council of Turkey, who right after he left, about 45 minutes later, this attack happened?
Not much. Only the fact that last meeting, and I think it was dinner actually, that Ambassador Stevens held at the Benghazi facility was with the Turkish Consul General. Don't know his name and don't know the contents or the subjects that they talked about during their meeting.
Unusual that they would be meeting or not?
I think probably for that facility, not at all. I think they were probably on very good terms, or if not that particular Consul General, certainly representatives from the Turkish diplomatic mission in Libya would have been in close contact and good relationship with Ambassador Stevens, probably going back a year and more to the revolt time against Gaddafi.
Now, I have seen, we all have seen movies where people watch something in the Situation Room. This is the point of the movie where the bad guys are clearly bad guys and the good guys are clearly good guys. And, you've seen it in The Bourne Identity and everything else. While they're watching a mission go down, and they're not saving the good guys when they say, we got to go in and get them. And the bad guys are like, no, they're on their own. And the good guys always know this is wrong. Where are the good guys in this story? Where are the military? Where's the military brass? Where is anyone that is stepping up to the plate who watched this happen in real time? Because somebody, and what level would it take for somebody to say, no, you're not sending anybody in? Who would have the authority to do that?
I'll tell you, every level of working level, Department of State, CIA, must have been heartsick, the ones who were watching this, and there were probably a good number of them, as well as military. The rank and the file, the working level. How many do you think saw this?
How many do you think that saw this?
I don't have any way of knowing, but it had to have been, dozens, at least not watching the video, but at least knowing that it was happening. Going on.
Okay.
That they were seeing messages coming in at least.
Okay.
There had to have been dozens.
Who has the authority? How high up does it have to go to not send in? We had planes 30 minutes away.
As we know now, there were people on the ground waiting in a place called Sigonella, Italy, southern Italy, within an hour's flying time. I would think that a decision like that would have to come at least from the Secretary of State and probably higher.
To not help.
To not help, because everybody else would have been wanting to get in there and help their comrades. So, that's how it is when you serve overseas. Everybody wants to help.
You said to me last night that Petraeus knows. He has to.
Of course he knows.
Of course he knows. Where is General Petraeus on this, or where is anyone around him? Why would they stay in a position? Because this is an outrageous claim to make, that the president or the Secretary of State made the decision to not help somebody who was in need. We don't leave Americans behind. So
no, we don't.
So
we haven't.
Where would somebody in the military or somebody in the intelligence agency that's been thrown in the bus over and over and over again, Why don't they step up and say, this was an outrage and here's what really happened?
I don't know, and I suppose a lot of them are still in shock at what happened. I think that I think there's a very strong pressure to keep silence, to keep discipline among the ranks, as it were, not to talk about it. You don't hear this. You don't hear anybody in these agencies talking about what really happened. You scarcely hear anyone in the media, with few exceptions now, talking or writing about it either.
Well, Claire, I'd like to get you together with a couple of other of our staff, and to see how we can further this story, because I believe this is right. I believe this is exactly what happened, and I think we have taken such a dark turn here that if this is allowed to stand, our country is in the soul of our country is in real danger.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I thank you for all you're doing to highlight the story and bring it to public attention.
Claire Lopez, former CIA agent, thank you so much. Appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you, Glenn.
You bet. Bye-bye. Where do you go with that? I mean, you know, I gave a speech, 2 weeks ago, where I said, we started questioning things after September 11th, and we questioned things that we didn't know, and then we kept questioning until we started to wonder, do I even want to know some of this stuff? Because it led to answers that are not comfortable. But this one is really disturbing. This is true. We have verification that there was a drone up above in the skies. We know that that's live video feeds. We know that the Situation Room can take that live video feed. We know that the State Department can take that as well. We know that these people had to have been watching them at the Pentagon, at the White House, and at the State Department. They were watching it. They watched it in real time. We had people that could be easily dispatched. Claire talked about the one in Italy where they were waiting on the ground to go, but they didn't. But I'm using just common sense. There's aircraft carriers in the Middle East. The Sixth Fleet is in the Middle East. Why didn't we launch a plane there? There was no help. This went on for hours. We watched our people die. And then we have covered and lied. This is so much different than what did the president know and when did he know it? The president's people, at least. The president, believe it or not, went to bed. This is streaming. Imagine yourself. You have something that is going on and they're watching it in the Situation Room and you say either I'm not going down to watch it or, you know what, I'll catch you guys in the morning. Let me know what happens. You're the president of the United States. Who gave the order to not help? We went into Libya because we were told we have a responsibility to protect. Don't we have a responsibility to protect the servants of the United States of America in their duty? Wow. We're leaving people behind, and we're watching them die. Where's the military? Honor your oath. Where is the military?